right, what's up, Star City Blood Bowl League, and welcome to the Season 10 Round 4 update. We've just finished the halfway point of the season. Teams are starting to shape up. We're starting to get a little bit of a playoff picture coming in, but it's still anybody's chance to make the playoffs. Nobody's completely out yet. So anyone can make it at this point, no matter if you're in last place, second to last, doesn't matter. You still have a chance to make the playoffs and get a pretty good seed going into the rounds. So just jumping right in, let's look at the Blue Ridge um, standings right now. So right now we've got the Silver Strikers. They're an undefeated team. Imperial Nobility, coached by Shad. They've only been scored on one time, so 4 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses. Um, some of the other interesting things is they've also been negative in the casualties, so they're not necessarily removing things, but they're able to get into the end zone fast enough before other people are able to get in there. We've then got article, adjective, noun, conglomerate, which is 3 wins, 1 loss. This one here, I think the only loss was probably, I think, 2 Shad Silver Strikers. I could be wrong, but the main thing is that they've started off strong as well, just as you would expect. And as they start to gain skills, you'll see them be tough to beat as well. We got Crimson Wave, which is the corn team with 7 points. They're 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. We got the Safri Sorcerers, which is Fluff slash Lily's team. The High Elves, they've been able to pick up a little bit as they picked up their first win since taking over the ownership of the Safri Sorcerers. So that boosted them up to 6 points. We've got the Misfit Elves, who dropped another game this week, putting them with just 4 points, falling out of the top 4 playoffs right now. And we got Gnomeland Security, also picking up a loss this week. Skull Crusher Crew grabbed a loss. And then we've got Cirque du Sucket in last place right now, looking for their first win of the season. It might be this week. I think they've got a really good matchup when I glanced over at it. So I think this is a good shot for Rachel to probably pick up the first win of the season. Looking at the Mill Mountain division, we've got the Coffin Company, also another 4 win, 0 draw, 0 loss team. So each division has one undefeated team currently. We've got the Stone Cold Stunners, Chaos Chosen. So that's Bob's team with 3 wins, 1 loss. We've got Shenandoah Chargers. That one is 3 wins and 1 loss as well. And then we've got Purple Nurple, which is Gerard's team, 2 wins, 2 losses. So they're on a little bit of a hot streak, picking up wins in their last 2 matches after starting the season a little slow. We've got the Camino Commandos, who've dropped 2 in a row. Arkansas Razorbacks also dropped 2 in a row. The Ghoul City Cannibals started off strong with a win in the season and have not really able to find that luck here lately, so losing 3 in a row. And then the Grim Lobbin Biters also in the same boat, 1 win, 3 losses recently. So that's kind of how the playoff picture is shaping up right now. Um, so really excited to see how the rest of this season goes in. I'm going to just take a quick look at the honors real quick before we jump into the matches. So we'll just go by player. Right now, Estienne Del Rival is the most valued player, being paid 185K, followed closely behind by Empire, the Werewolf from Coffin Company, and then the Ghoul City Cannibals, Dr. Duat. Um, Most valued big guy is Grim Crackle. I think that's the Cirque du Suckets. Yep, Cirque du Suckets Rot Spawn, being paid 200K. Most valued stunty, that's Jester. He's the pogoer for the Grim Lobbin Biters. He's got a couple skill ups. Michael J. Fox, the Woodland Fox for Gnomeland Security, is also paid pretty highly for a Strength 1 stunty titchy fox. So most experienced right now, Crag Blacktooth, the Arkansas Razorbacks blitzer, has accumulated 29 SPP this season, while Estienne Del Rival is not far behind with 24 SPP. Grim Crackle's got 24 as well. Other few folks in their 20s. Most versatile right now, this is a accumulation of pretty much anything that generates advantages in a game. Craig Blacktooth's got 11 points there. Most scorer is Estine de Rivel, which has got 8 touchdowns so far. Empire's not far behind with 7, and then it's a 4-3-3 below that. So they're leading our Best offense category. Most beast, Crag Blacktooth's got 6 casualties caused. Grim Crackle's got 6 as well. Most injured right now, there's just a whole bunch of players that have been hurt a couple times, but mostly it's Crimson Wave or Grim Lob and Biter players who have been seeing the casualty box the most often. Most MVP, Grim Crackle's gotten the MVP 3 times, and then a handful of twos. Most dirty player right now is Dobby, the Ooligan from Grim Lob and Biters, with 4 fouls caused. Most sent offs is mostly the secret weapons for the Grimlob and Biters. Most completions, so we've got 2 players with 4 completions each. Nicolette de Favres with 4 completions, and Chuck DeBall, the Arkansas Razorbacks thrower, also with 4 completions. Only 1 interception on the year, that's Femur for the Ghoul City Cannibals. So that's how the players shape up. Um, Team wise, just looking at current team value right now, the Shenandoah Chargers are sitting at 1340K, which is the highest team value right now. The Safri Sorcerers aren't far behind. Um, so they've been able to, aside from that very first game they played, been able to hold on to their players and not lose too many. Most famed right now, we've got article, adjective, noun, conglomerate. I have 6 dedicated fans. There's a handful of 5s going around. Most experienced right now, the Camino Commandos, which is a redraft team, as well as Safari Sorcerers. Both have 80 and 120 SPP roughly. New teams, aside from Cirque du Sucket, Cirque du Sucket was a redraft, but they're on par with about everybody else right now with 63 SPP. Um, and the other new teams are about 50 to 60 SPP accumulated so far this year. Looking at some of this, most touchdowns right now is the Silver Strikers with 9, Coffin Company 7, Shenandoah Chargers 7, Crimson Wave 6, Stone Cold Stunners 6. Best defense, we've got 3 teams right now that have only given up 1 touchdown so far. Or I'm sorry, just 2 teams because this only includes the Lilies 1 game. 2 teams that have given up just 1 touchdown. That's the Silver Strikers and Coffin Company. Most beast right now, article, adjective, noun, conglomerate have accumulated 15 casualties in their 4 games, which is a great amount for this for Tomb Kings to help get them some wins. 9 for a couple other teams. Most injured, the Grim Loblin Biters have suffered 16 injuries, more than the Gnomeland Security, just by barely. Most killer right now, article, adjective, noun, conglomerate, is the only team that has called multiple deaths this year. Most dirty players, surprisingly, is not either of the stunties. It is the Crimson Wave, which have committed 8 fouls this season. Most sent off right now, the Glenlobin Biters have been sent off 7 times. That counts their secret weapons, so that's no surprise. Completions we already covered, interceptions we covered. Best run right now, is the Silver Strikers and Coffin Company have each won 4 games straight. Shenandoah Chargers with 3, and then we've got a couple teams with 2 wins in a row. The worst run right now, as I mentioned, both the Ghoul City Cannibals and Grim Loblin Biters have dropped their last 3 after starting off the season strong with 1 win. So hopefully they bounce back soon and pick up some more wins. I think that's really, I'll look at the coach and see if there's anything worth putting into this. It's probably worth noting, right now, Bob is still got his star ranking along with Alex and Mark with their respective races. Bob's holding on to the second Chaos Chosen race position. I don't know, I'm thinking that's US. I don't know if that's US or world. But the Tomb Kings have also moved up 42 spots to 23rd best, and then Mark Crouch's Razorbacks have suffered a few losses in a row, dropping 33 spots to the 80th place. And some folks are climbing and falling from there. Um, let's see what else there's worth noting right now. I think that's really it right now. Best stunty right now is just Gnomeland Security, just edging out with 1 additional draw in their matches than the Grimlob and Biters. All right, so let's jump into what's coming up for round 5. Like I said, only 3 rounds left, so we're on pace to finish the season before Thanksgiving, which will be great. and then everybody can have a couple months off until we start in the new year. But looking at, let's see, where do we want to start? Let's just start with this first game. Crimson Wave, Silver Strikers. Silver Strikers are undefeated. Crimson Wave are finally picking up how to use corn and won 2 games straight. Looking at their offenses, the Silver Strikers score a little bit more, play a little bit better defense. They don't hurt as many players. Their endurance to avoid injury has been very high, so even though they're not removing, they're not getting hurt themselves. And then dirty playing, they both foul mediocrely, but the Crimson Wave have the edge in this one here for fouling. Looking at their respective rosters, starting with the Crimson Wave, they've got a bunch of skills scattered around some players now. Lots of block frenzy, lots of guard frenzy. The Corn Gores got claws block, extra arms. So the main thing here, I actually think this is very favorable towards Corn right now, and I'll tell you why. Lots of guards stand firm, leader, dodge step guard. So obviously the Noble Blitzer's in a good place. Only one skilled up blitzer, Catherine Nepvo, is still waiting to get another skill, but probably will get it maybe this game or the next. Um, but looking like 2 healthy teams right now going into this match. There is going to be petty cash of 85K for the Crimson Wave. Now, what I'm thinking that the Crimson Wave need to be doing, obviously, is taking advantage of Juggernaut. Juggernaut's going to be able to push around those um, the bodyguards and negate the stand firm so that they don't have the ability to stand in there and block the way. That's always, that's essentially the Imperial Nobility way, is to use those stand firm, wrestle guarders to prevent movement of the team. And as soon as you can start pushing them around, pushing them off the field by surfing them or whatever, then they become a lot less um, strong, I guess. And then not to mention you got claws on one of them. So if Garef Rumner is going to end up blitzing, you might be able to get a removal of 1 or 2 of them, at least to the knockout box. And that's going to be a big advantage for the Corn as they move into the game. Still not enough money saved up for a blood spawn yet, which is unfortunate, as that would be very, very helpful in this game. But hopefully one of these strength 4 guys can take some of the hits from the ogre, not get too knocked off. Where there's probably going to be a little bit of struggle is obviously there's going to be some dodging need to happen to catch up to the Noble Blitzer, but that should be, I don't want to say easy enough, but it should be doable. As far as inducements go, Acorn is cool. I don't know if he's necessarily worth it. Having that's not super great. I would probably end up taking a keg and a mascot to get that money and get 1 extra reroll. That might give you a chance to get 3 rerolls in at least one of the halves. So that would be beneficial. As far as the Silver Strikers go, like I said, the main thing is just to be cautious that you don't put your stand firm guarders get complacent that you thought they could stand on the sideline, but now that Juggernaut's in play, maybe not. So you might have to play a little bit different of a screen defense to keep them from trekking down the sideline in case your bodyguards get pushed out of the way. Obviously, take advantage of Finn to turn off Frenzy. That's one good thing about it, is that once you step away, that frenzy ends, and so I think you're just going to try and eliminate their ability to move. Obviously, you're going to have to rely on esteemed arrival, so I would protect them at pretty high costs. 3 rerolls with the leader, so that's good. I think they have a pretty
For
good
those
amount
who
of
don't
players,
know or don't
12.
recognize this smooth voice,
Depending on what
it's your
they're
boy Snoop
feeling,
D-O-double-G in the
I
house.
would
Let's give a
probably
big warm welcome to Aaron,
look to foul this
joining us
game
for
a
the
good
Star City
amount, at
Blood
least
Bowl
right in
League
the
video
beginning to get a
updates.
head
We
start.
about to drop them sports stats like it's
I'd
hot,
probably
keeping
look
it
to
real and
especially
fresh.
pick these
Over to
corn
you,
gores
Aaron, on the
off as
mic.
fast as possible. So that would be me. What do I think is going to happen in this one? Oh, I think this one's going to be a win for the Imperial Nobility. I'm going to give it 2-1, is what I'm going to guess, with Shad winning this game here. Looking at the Skull Crusher crew and Gnomeland Security, so this is matchup. There's going to be 150K in petty cash for Gnomeland Security. That should be enough for them to grab a star player. Who would that be? Uh, I really like Puggy. Rodney Roachbait. You could take Sydney and Rodney Roachbait. That would be a good matchup probably for this. Um, because if you can start bombing those black orcs and knock a couple of them off, that would be helpful. So I would either take Sydney and Rodney Roachbait or look to take Puggy and like or a mascot or something like that. I know you don't need the rerolls, but I'm not sure what else you'd spend it on. Guess you could always take a coach or something so that you, um, well, 250K in gold. I honestly wonder if you need a little bit more bench. At least one more, a 12, and then 2 stars. But as far as looking at the teams, we've got a couple wrestle dodges. Michael J. Fox has got sprint, which is great. Um, makes him movement 10, so he can score from pretty far out with just a whole bunch of twos. He's not titchy. I'm sorry, I thought they were titchy. So still needing 2 pluses to dodge, but that's okay. Gnome Illusionist has picked up dodge. We've got a tree that looks like, I don't know what he's saying for a stat upgrade, probably going to take movement, which would allow him to stand without having to do anything else. So that's great. Trees coming real close to grabbing guard or something. Um, but then pretty much an unskilled team. So keeping the TV pretty low. Right now we've got guard, mighty blow, block, block, sure feet, um, sneaky get. Um, I would be interesting. I don't know how the interaction between grab and the trickster ability works. I'd be interested what that is. I've not looked that up or played against gnomes, so I can't say much. I know their survivability is a little lower than you would like. If I was the Skull Crusher crew, I would pretty much try and ignore the trees as much as possible. Use the goblins to foul as much as you can. Obviously, argue the call. Remember, if you roll a 1, you can re-roll it with bribery and corruption teams. So don't forget to do that. Otherwise, this looks like it's going to be a pretty close matchup, but I think it's going to be very, very tough for the Skull Crusher crew to keep up with the Fox if they don't hurt it right away. I would probably recommend they put a couple goblins back to try and slow down the Fox or hit it. But pretty much realize that if you're just 3 squares over the halfway line, that fox is in scoring range and may attempt to score. Um, what do I think is going to happen here? I think this is going to be a win for Gnomeland Security. Um, I think it's going to be, excuse me. I think it's going to be, hmm, do I think it's a win? Yeah, I think it's going to be a win for them. I'm going to give it to them 2-0. 2-0. Gnomeland Security over the Skull Crusher crew. I think it's just going to be hard for them to keep up, um, is my guess. All right, we got Fluff Safri Sorcerers against Article Adjective Noun Conglomerate, so a pretty good matchup. Petty Cash is 100K to the Tomb Kings, which is a little surprising. You could get, oh, they can't get, I was thinking you could get Fungus, but no, you can't. So 80K there. What else would you get? I think you could get. The player agent. Can't remember which of these. One of these is the one that gives pro, which I really like. And then the other one is not. I don't remember if it's charlatan. I would probably take. Oh, do you take an inaccurate wizard? So bad. Hmm. Extra reroll. You got 3 already. Lots of block. Can't imagine you need it. Anyways, the article, adjective, noun conglomerate's got guard, stand firm on 2 Tomb Guardians, 2 Mighty Blow Guard Tomb Guardians. So lots of 3 dies going around. Tackle on 1 Blitzer, block on the ball on the thrower, which is a great skill. Skeleton block, skeleton block. Um, I would probably honestly pick up a 12th player with your money. You got 360K. I'd pick up a 12th so that I got an extra lineman to foul with for that 12th player. And then I would use the other money, the other 60K, probably to just take either a mascot, an assistant coach, or a keg or something like that. I don't think you need a keg with them. I would probably just take the mascot. Oh, not that. Mascot and weather mage just to play around with. I don't know. You could also just fuck around and get the special ball inducement I think we have, and just see what special ball you get. But all right, Safri Sorcerers, obviously lots of dodge. Pretty skilled up team, really. Going to be very tough to beat, especially if they start dodging around quite a bit. Um, got 11 players, so no extras right now. Only 1 thrower, 3 catchers. That's okay. Hmm. Block Cannoneer. That's a fluff skill. I know. No. Yeah. Fluff took that skill. I know it. All right. So looking at this team, some really skilled up catchers, a couple skilled up blitzers. Everybody's very mobile. Um, obviously, that's going to be difficult, especially if they can elf screen to stop the Tomb King's drive from moving too much forward at any time. And it also allows them to have a breakout threat. I mean, I would probably be running left to right to try and get the Tomb Kings out of position and find a way to break through. Who do I think will win this? I think this is going to be tough. I'm going to give this one actually to the Tomb Kings on a 2-1 win, is what I'm going to call out. So I could see this going either way. Arguably, I probably should argue a draw, but draws are boring, and I'd rather pick somebody to win. So I'm just going to say Alex will win that one 2-1. All right, this one, Cirque du Socket, Misfit Elves. I think this is a really good matchup for the Nurgle. I think it's their chance to get a good win in. Disturbing Presence obviously stacks. If you can stack it over top of their people that are planning to catch, handoff, whatever, you can make it a 3 plus, 4 plus, 5 plus, whatever to pitch, throw, anything like that. So obviously be eyeing where they could possibly be trying to get the ball and start to overlap those tackle zones or the disturbing present zones. Um, the only 10 players, they're going to pick up Journeyman. Um, so I don't know if it takes that into account. I don't think there will be any inducements. Misfit Elves, um, some newer skills, but they're going to pick up 2 Journeymen. So they're going to go up. I'm not sure what this will be for inducements right off the bat, but obviously the struggles have been for the Nurgle to get into the end zone. They've been hurting people just fine, not getting hurt just fine, but just not being able to find the end zone as much as they would like. Um, I think this is a winnable game for the Nurgle, very much so, and I think it's going to be 2-1 with Cirque du Socket winning this one and getting their first win of the year. So that is that division. Looking at the Mill Mountain, we got the Grim Loblin Biters against the Stone Cold Stunners. 275 or 245 petty cash. Obviously, Bob's an experienced Chaos Chosen coach. Lots of mighty blow, block, tackle, etc. Grim Biters. Got a couple guys out missing this game. The Bat Goblin, the Doom Diver is not going to be playing as they got hurt last game. 12 players. What can they get that would actually make a huge difference? Um, Bomber's always a great pick. So you got to spend 150K on 3 bribes. I think you do that. Then that leaves you, what, 95K or so? Fungus would be an okay pickup. Um, oh yeah, the Chaos Dwarf stars. I forgot they're in here now. Rashnak, Skitter. Creek's good value too for the money. Um, I think I would end up just taking as many bribes as I could and then pick probably Bomber or something like that just to start throwing bombs and causing chaos and see if you can remove enough pieces. Obviously, they don't have high agility, so throwing to them will be knocking them down. Odds of hurting them is relatively small, but doesn't hurt. And then obviously the Stone Cold Stunners are going to be looking to remove and target players as much as possible. I will say just from playing Hunter ones, the one thing I'd maybe recommend is you keep your trolls a little closer together so that they can assist each other with the guard ability. It'll make them a lot harder to knock down. Um, the other thing is just not to be afraid to play aggressively, because you don't have a lot of time with goblins to get an advantage. If you wait too long, then it just ends up bad usually. So looking at this, what do I think is going to happen? I think it's going to be 2-0 Stone Cold Stunners over the Grim Loblin Biters. Um, that's my guess there. Purple Nurple Ghoul City Cannibals. So we've got Gerard's team coming off 2 wins. Ghoul City Cannibals struggling here lately. We've got a really block guard heavy um, team here. Still no rot spawn. Enough money for a rot spawn? Nope, not yet. One on the bench, which is good. And then we got Ghoul City Cannibals. A couple skilled up ghouls, which are tough at times. One mummy that's pretty skilled up. One that's got guard. A tackle skeleton, which won't do much this game. Um, so looking at this, it looks like Purple Nurple has the favorite as far as the game goes, as far as skill wise and abilities. Obviously, putting your bloaters next to each other so that the guard can assist is going to be pretty valuable in slowing down the mummies. The main thing is just to get the team spread out all over the place. Um, who do I think will win this one? I think this is going to be Purple Nurple. I'm going to say 2 wins to 1 on this one here. Oh, I didn't look at the petty cash. 110 petty cash. I don't think that's enough for anything good. I think Bryce of Slice is like 100 and something. Yeah. Um, Probably just taking a bribe. That's probably what I would take. I would take a bribe and I'd be fouling like crazy on, especially if you can get a Pestigore down. Um, Not great odds, but at least you don't lose the player. Next up, Coffin Company, Arkansas Razorbacks. Coffin Company, we're going with obviously pretty skilled up. Block Dodge. Emily the Werewolf is still looking for some skills. Block Mighty Blow Flesh Golem, Block Flesh Golem, Wraiths that are both guard. Tackle, one's guard Mighty Blow, which is obviously a pain in the butt. With their sidestep ability. 190K in the bank. I'm probably taking a 12th player, but I don't know if they want to do that quite yet. Looking at the Arkansas Razorbacks, they're sitting at 12 players, so they got a full roster. Lots of Mighty Blow. One Dodge Blitzer that's working his way towards another secondary. I don't know what that would be. Another agility. Uh, what would that even be? Or maybe he's just going for a skill. Don't know. Couple big uns. One slow big un. If they got the money, no, not yet. Once they get the money, I'd probably replace this guy. Maybe after this game or so. they don't suffer any severe losses. Um, accurate thrower, which is good. Um, so, what do we think is going to happen here? The Razorbacks have been in a little bit of a slump, uh, and the Coffin Company's been popping off pretty good and not being hurt. So I'm gonna say that it's probably gonna be. Um, I'm gonna give this one the Coffin Company to keep their thing rolling. Obviously, the Claws can take advantage of the Orcs, work them a little bit. There is a little bit of a strength deficit here, and obviously lots of mighty blows. So if there's enough removals, I could see the Orcs pulling this one out. But I'm gonna give it to Coffin Company 2-1 for this game here. Last not least, we got the Camino Commandos. That's Gerald's human team, which has a brawler, ogre, a tackle blitzer, blitzer, mighty blow, tackle, block jump up, fend, catchers, thrower, block leader, running pass, couple unskilled blitzers. 11 players, 230K in the bank um, against the Shenandoah Chargers. Um, Got guard treatment, mighty blow pro, dwarf slayer, pro, blitzer, guard blocker, block, wrestle, tackle. Um, 12 players, 90K in the bank. How much petty cash? 60 petty cash. What are you taking? I guess you could take Cindy Pie Whistle would probably not be a bad pick. The other would be probably to take 60K ain't much. I don't know what the Dwarven Runesmith is. Since I don't know, it's probably not great. Keg's not going to be bad because you're only rocking 11 players. That's probably a good choice if you're only going to have 11. If you buy a 12th player, then obviously the petty cash goes away. But um, right now, playing about similar offensive, defensive, hurting. I mean, it's a pretty even matchup, really. So I'm going to call this one the only draw I'm going to call. I'm going to call it a 1-1 draw for this match. I do think because of the lack of guard on the commandos that they might have a little bit of a strength issue getting blocks. There might be a lot of one die blocks popping off from them, um, which could pull out just fine and it could be disastrous. So I think it depends on how those go. Um, Obviously, as soon as they skill up, I would get guard as fast as possible on some of those players. Um, so I think that's it. That's round 5. Like I said, we got 2 more rounds after that, and then we'll start the playoffs, and hopefully have the season wrapped up not long into the holiday season, and everybody can enjoy some time with your family. Just a couple notes. I know Beater Bowl is going to start next month in November. That announcement will come probably this week from the Virginia Beach group. I'm planning to go up there. I think Rachel was planning to go up there. I don't know if others are, but if anybody wants a ride, let me know, and I'll be happy to take you down there in the coming weeks. And then I think that's really it. I guess with that, everybody just have a great 5th round. Have fun, and just let me know if you guys need anything. But otherwise, have a good weekend. Thanks, Star City.